I'm Dr. Connie. I'm your host of Mind Your Health podcast. I share my unique perspective both as a practitioner and a patient battling autoimmune condition for over 25 years because I had to figure things out on my own, and my education in my practical approach as a patient allows me to truly integrate it so that you can be whole and the burden of sick care is no longer your own burden to carry. And this is what we help you with in this podcast.
Hey everyone, this is Dr. Connie. Today I want to talk to you guys about unlocking the secret to lifelong vitality and really understand why health cannot be bought. It's something you must do, okay? Because I used to be in school, I studied prevention, and I remember all the instructors were really honing in on the importance of prevention. But also in clinical practice, I learned that by virtue of, or the human nature tends to really only take action when there is an impending danger, meaning we don't take action until things get really bad. And as I reflect upon my health journey all through my life, I have to really understand and realize how much I played into developing my lupus or autoimmune condition, because I will tell you at that time, I was driving myself mad, really always pressing the gas pedal, not giving myself enough time and space and grace to take rests in between. I was so focused in my education at that time, and I thought if I can only outperform everybody, meaning be the earliest riser, study the hardest, longest, and really obsess over my grades, which led me to really become really sick, and I really didn't take good care of myself, all in the name of education at that time. I thought it was a virtuous thing for me to do, being in grad school, but now I realize there's space and time for everything. That importance of prevention is super important, but that we have to learn to cultivate inner balance and take care of ourselves, because we live today in a world where material wealth and possessions are often seen as the ultimate goals, and we can't help but to really press forward and do the best we can and stay busy with all the things today. And it's so easy, and I see it in my patients all the time, to forget that health is one of our most valuable assets, and it cannot simply be purchased. Unlike commodities, like we can buy and replace all the time, we cannot do that with our joints, with our health. Once it's gone, it's gone. And we have to then really work really hard just to be at the baseline. And I've been there, so it's really challenging when you lose your optimal health. And we cultivate health through our daily actions. It's not something we do and go on a like a fast or something drastic and do red light therapy and do cryotherapy or cold plunges or go do some yoga and meditate and then go back to the stressful job. That just doesn't work. We have to sort of blend it in and sprinkle it through our day, every single day, to make better choices in our lives, to provide ourselves so that it can become a habit. And it is a continuous journey requiring commitment, effort, and mindfulness. I was having a conversation with one of my colleagues this week. He's a renowned worldwide speaker, and he's amazing because he utilizes, his name's Dan Thurman. If you haven't heard about him, please look him up. Dan Thurman, THURMAN.com. Amazing speaker. But he and I were talking about how balance really, or his work is all about how balance is not something you achieve once and be done. It's something you have to maintain, because balance is something that we do every single day, and that looks different every single day. It can't look the same in our 30s as it did in our 20s. And it's going to look differently in our 50s and 60s and beyond, right? And so as I talk about the importance of prevention, I really want you to bring in lots of practicality into this. And really, I think a lot of the times, well-educated practitioners tend to complicate, and I was stuck in that pattern for a very long time. But I'm more about really making things accessible and practical for you guys. And so today I really want to speak to the importance of prevention and what you can do to cultivate that inner balance. So prevention is like the cornerstone of maintaining good health. And rather than waiting for illness to strike, like I mentioned, proactive measures can protect our well-being and enhance our quality of life. Like regular movement, intuitive balanced diet, adequate sleep, and stress management are fundamental practices that help prevent chronic diseases like heart disease, diabetes, hypertension, autoimmunity, cancer, you name it. And by prioritizing these habits, we lay a strong foundation for a healthy life. And that's what I stand by, is your ability to regulate your own systems through these practices so that you can prevent the need for extensive medical services, okay? I will tell you once again, once health is gone, it's hard to bring it back up. The older we get, even more challenging. We're always going to be faced with these imbalances. And so really understanding how our thoughts and feelings and our awareness, our posture and alignment, our ability to move, these things really do affect our whole overall wellness. And so you have to learn to cultivate awareness, self-awareness for these tendencies, because I will tell you, the best intentions patients that come to see me don't even realize the extensive stress they live with because it's subconscious to them, meaning it's not in their conscious awareness. And subconscious aspect of ourselves, that part where we tend to load up on the stress and we don't even realize that we're doing that, that's the part that gets us every single time. So it's really, really imperative that you stay vigilant about being self-aware about these things in your body. And that all starts with you becoming aware and in tune with your body. And that's why I'm such a big advocate of the practice of yoga, but it's because it brings awareness, posture and alignment. It brings somatic movement patterns, mobility, flexibility, but not just in the physical part, but there is the faculties in our mental and emotional states that can transcend above and beyond up through our chakra system, which is what I teach in my gut healing transformation or gut healing mastery program, my signature program, is the balancing of it all to transcend all of it, our physical realm, into mental, emotional, and then ultimately to our spiritual realm. Okay, so first, to start with, somatic movement. It's the S in my Ease method that I preach in my program, is movement is medicine. And regular movement strengthens the cardiovascular system, improves your mental health, emotional health, agility, flexibility, and boosts immunity, and it helps with your gut motility, your metabolism, and detoxification, all of which are essential functions for optimal health. And that's movement alone, the somatic practice. Next is an enteric. It's the E in the E's, right? It's nutrition. A diet rich in fruits. It's minding your gut. It's really plant-based, incorporating fruits, vegetables, and lean proteins, the real source things, not processed, okay? And whole grains provides a nutrition or nourishment to our bodies to function optimally. That's the first part, or one layer of it. But more importantly, eating to nourish your body is really about learning to eat intuitively and assessing the effects of various foods on your body. The ability to be receptive to your body and the effects of various foods is mindfulness. It's chewing slow, savoring every bite, tasting the different flavors, saltiness, the umami flavors, the sweetness, the sour, everything coming together to savor that bite, and then being intentional with eating, and then really being grateful for the nourishment while eating versus inhaling your food in a rush, no matter how healthy it is, it's not going to go over very well in the body. Okay? Sleep. And sleep really pertains to our autonomic nervous system, which is the A in our EASE method. Its quality sleep is essential for physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual restoration, supporting cognitive function and regulating your mood to be able to do the behaviors, right? So develop a habit to wind down maybe an hour before bedtime and avoid watching TV right before bed, because that can be stimulating the mind. Drink chamomile tea, wear an eye mask to block out light, make sure the room is pitch dark, and avoid keeping your phone close to your bedside to avoid blue light, which can affect your sleep. Sometimes visualization or meditating right before you sleep and setting the intention really helps. I ask a lot of quality questions before bed so that my higher consciousness can provide me with the answers when I wake up in the morning. Okay, it's the best feeling when you can do that intentionally and wake up with the answers right in your mind. Again, another thing is stress management, also in the A part of our EASE method, also as well as the E part, the last E in the EASE method, which is empowered psychology. Because techniques like mindfulness, meditation, as well as yoga help to manage stress. Reducing harmful effects on the body is why I advocate yoga so much. But important thing to remember is stress is something unbeknownst to you. Oftentimes, you don't know how much stress you're carrying, but really when you start to be mindful of your body and how you carry your stress, where in the body you carry your stress, all those things come to the surface, and you'd be better able to manage these symptoms, or not symptoms, but the state of your mind and your physical being, so that you can intentionally focus on the mindfulness piece and meditation and the yoga to start to get curious and start to balance and cultivate that inner balance as well. So preventive care also includes regular health screenings, which is the lab testing, yearly physicals, which can detect issues early and prevent disease from developing. That includes teeth cleaning and taking care of your teeth, really flossing and brushing after meals. And all these habits allow you to cultivate inner peace, which helps you to feel like you're in control, to help your body to avoid accumulation of toxins and dysfunctions that can manifest as symptoms and then towards disease. By focusing on prevention, we reduce the risk of illness and enhance our overall well-being, enabling us to live longer and healthier lives. Because the truth is, many of you are living in a state of suboptimal health, and you've sort of became complacent to that state, and so you don't know what else, right? You don't know what optimal health feels like, and that's why programs that I offer, like Gut Health Mastery, really focuses on the layer by layer approach to get you step by step through balancing all these systems in the body with full awareness, so you can maintain the skills to protect your health for the rest of your life. Okay, utilizing that EASE method. E stands for enteric health. It's all about nutrition and your gut health. A is all about autonomic regulation, which is all about your autonomic nervous system. It's the part of your body that you don't have to think about. It's your heart beating, it's your liver function, kidney function, digestion, motility, right? It's all the enzymes that's produced to digest. It's your ovaries, it's your thyroid. It's all the things that we don't have control over, or we don't think we have control over, but your thoughts and emotions, your state of being really do influence directly the effect of how well those things function. So I teach in my program how to self-regulate your nervous system to optimize the functions of your autonomic nervous system. The third piece is the somatic nervous system, which is movement. Movement enhances mobility, flexibility, resiliency, strength, And it allows us to translate all those things that we learn through breath with movement, which is what I advocate in my program, which is yoga, to really help for gut motility, for better digestion and metabolism and detoxification, as well as movement really fosters this contraction and relax and stretch and flexibility into all our joints to really circulate all the stagnant energy to produce this optimal health and state in the physical body to translate into our brain so we can think and feel better, to raise the moods and the endorphins, to get us in a state of protecting our health and get our chemical balance and hormones in balance to help us to really cultivate optimal healing and health from within. So what does protecting health look like? The best health protecting strategy and longevity strategy it involves making conscious choices every single day. It's about understanding that our bodies are vehicles. It's our vessel that carry us through life, and that means we have to move, and taking care of it should be a top priority, because without this body of yours and your health, you can do nothing. No amount of wealth, relationships matter at that point, right? This means avoiding harmful habits like smoking, excessive alcohol consumption, and sedentary behavior. It also means being mindful of our mental health, recognizing the impact of stress and seeking support when needed. So investing in our health is the most effective strategy for longevity, not doing it reactively after the symptoms arise. It's the most cost-saving thing you'll ever do for yourself, because a well cared-for body is more resilient to the wear and tear of aging. And by maintaining a healthy lifestyle, we can mitigate the effects of time and aging and enjoy a higher quality of life in our later years. And to me, that's the most important, because I don't want to be sick and sickly as I grow older and have dementia and live long. I want to live a vibrant, high quality of life with things that I do without limitations in our physical body. The aches and pains, I want to avoid arthritis, all the broken bones and posture, perpetuated imbalances, all the things we can avoid right now so your future health or future self can thank you later. So I want to speak to the importance of our inner balance to achieve all the things that I talked about, because achieving and maintaining health goes beyond the physical practices. It also involves nurturing our inner state, inner balance, which is the harmony between our physical, emotional, and mental states. It is the state of being in tune with ourselves and understanding our needs and responding appropriately. Inner balance can be achieved through practices such as mindfulness and meditation, because these practices help us to stay present, reduce anxiety, and cultivate a peaceful mind. Yoga combines physical postures, breathing exercises, meditation, and mindfulness to promote overall well-being and inner harmony. It's like one-stop shop for all the things you're looking for, is why I love doing it, because I don't have so much time in my day. As well as intuitive eating, listening to our body's hunger and fullness cues, and then the response to those foods can help us to maintain a healthy relationship with food and know what foods work and what foods don't, not based on what somebody else is telling us, but based on our physiology. And this also prevents overeating, which is also bad for us. And then there's this emotional awareness and emotional maturity. Recognizing and addressing our emotions healthily supports mental health and emotional resilience. I can't tell you how many times I used to just react because of my emotions, because I'm an emotional person. Some of us are born more emotional than others. If you study what I call human design, but it's a human design, it typifies you based on astrology, ancient Eastern philosophies, chakra systems, and it's highly mathematical. It really delves in or incorporates all the moon and sun cycles as well. And it really tells you whether you're emotional or non-emotional. I'm an emotional manifesting generator. And so I have to realize when I make decisions, I have to make sure that my emotions are in check. Because I get emotionally charged, I don't want to do certain things. I have a lot of resistance on the inside. And so I've had to really work on my triggers in this way. And that's what I call emotional awareness, because that's the part of us we don't recognize. It comes up when we have traumatic past, which all of us have some sort of traumatic past. And those things affect us in our emotions and our state of being today, because many of us hold on to that from the past. But when we bring awareness and mindfulness, we're able to then really, really break goal of generational trauma sometimes that we tend to bring forth to affect our lives today without realizing that we're doing that. When we achieve inner balance, we create an environment within where our bodies can thrive. And this inner balance allows us to respond to life's challenges with grace, resilience, reducing the impact of stress on our health. And that's really the ultimate goal, because stress is part of life, right? So just to really conclusively drill in what I talked about today, I want to emphasize health cannot be bought. It's something we cultivate through conscious and consistent actions. That health is worth investing in, time and money, right now, before it gets bad. And prevention and protection are key strategies for achieving longevity and well-being. And they create, just plug it into the EASE method, E, enteric, all about the food and gut and your state of being when you're eating, and really bringing in the intuitive part of it as we eat the foods to recognize what foods work and what doesn't. Okay, so that's the E. A is the autonomic nervous system. It's really having a pattern for sleeping to foster optimal sleep patterns, as well as to have a ritual at night to promote best sleep or quality sleep, as well as to manage your stress, to lessen the impact to your gut health, the enteric system, as well as the somatic system and our mindfulness, right? So I want you to focus on stress management and sleep patterns for the A, as well as focus on the breathing and then do yoga, which brings me to S, which is the somatic part of it. S is the S in the EASE method, which is movement. I said movement is life. Movement is medicine. It's an essential thing that we need. Just like a car that's been sitting in the garage for years and years won't turn on when you try to turn it on and drive it, everything's going to be broken because everything's rusted and it can't move properly. So I want you to think about movement as something that enhances your metabolism, detoxification, gut health, immune health. It helps your muscles, it helps your joints, it helps your pain, it helps to cycle all the blood and all the unnecessary toxins out of our body. So it helps with the enteric, autonomic, when you move somatically. That's the S. Last thing is empowered psychology. It's about doing all the three below or before so that you can be in the best state of mind and emotions, cultivating emotional resiliency and emotional maturity, and taking time to journal, meditate, do whatever it is to be mindful of your tendencies. That's what I call self-awareness, self-growth. It's self-realization, knowing who you are, not trying to be what somebody else wants you to be or shaped you to be. Because the three things I learned from my mentors is your programming of who you are today, okay? The identity you hold for yourself, your programming really does set the foundation for all the dysfunctions. It creates a lot of pain. Those three things perpetuates our subconscious mind to keep us from living our best lives, which in turn affects our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. And that's the inner balance that I talk about. It's not always something that we can tangibly address, like go see a doctor, check the labs, because sometimes these things that I'm talking about is between the spaces. It's in the emptiness. It's below our conscious mind, so we don't recognize them. So this idea and the concept of mindfulness and you recognizing that mindfulness is not a concept, but it's a practice to be practiced every single day by being aware. Self-awareness is key. Inner balance can only be achieved if you can cultivate self-awareness enough to understand the effects and apply ease methodology with a focused strategy to prevent illness and disease. You guys, I do have my foundational program called Gut Health Mastery. I put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and I'm adding to that program all the time. We just finished closing that program, but we will open it sometime in July. So stand by for that, or DM me here if you want more information and to be taken to the wait list so you'd be the first to know. It's one of the programs that I felt was needed in the world to help you guys to better hold yourself in the highest regard and highest optimal health, so you don't have to go through all the pain and suffering I did through my health crisis that you guys know. And if you don't know, look through some of my podcasts and follow me for more as I share my insights on my most I experienced my worst nightmare for the last 3 years, and I'm just coming out of it, and my vision is strong, and I am more motivated and inspired than ever before to put this word out and to help as many of you as possible. Follow me if you aren't following me on my podcast, and let's connect. Show me and share me your stories. I'd love to hear from you. Please leave us a review if you enjoyed this, or share with this episode with somebody you know, or my whole podcast for that matter. Thank you so much for your support, and I will see you guys all next week. Remember that health is something worth fighting for. It's not something you can buy, it's something that you do. Okay, thanks so much. This is Dr. Connie signing off now. I'll see you all next week. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Mind Your Health podcast. If you enjoyed the episode, we would so much love it and appreciate it if you share it with someone who could benefit as well as to subscribe to this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere else where podcasts are found. And leave us a review. We would be so grateful, and it helps us to reach more people just like you, so you can become more empowered to enjoy longevity and health. You can follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Dr. Connie Chung. And of course, you can subscribe to this podcast for a new episode every single week. Thank you again, and see you.